I received a decision there during the week from the Workplace Relations Commission. I was representing an employer, and an employee had brought a claim for constructive dismissal against the employer. One of the principal defences and one of the principal planks in our submission was that the employee had failed to use the internal grievance procedure in the workplace before resigning, had failed to use the available procedures to ventilate whatever issue they felt was forcing them or compelling them to leave the employment. In constructive dismissal, there's two tests. One is a breach of contract test, and two, there's a reasonableness test. So you must either prove that the employer breached your contract and you were entitled then to resign on the basis that the employer was no longer going to be bound by the contract, or the conduct of the employer was so unreasonable that you had no choice but to leave the employment. But if you're going to make the argument that you've had to resign because of the unreasonable conduct of the employer, then the employee must show reasonable conduct as well. And it was held there in the Labour Court decision involving Tusla, I think, and Tusla versus Flynn, a 2018 decision. But it says in constructive dismissal cases, where the complainant claims that the employer acted unreasonably, the court must examine the conduct of the parties. In normal circumstances, a complainant who seeks to invoke the reasonableness test in furtherance of such a claim must also act reasonably by providing the employer with an opportunity to address whatever grievance they may have. They must demonstrate that they have pursued their grievance through the procedures laid down in the contract of employment before taking the step to resign. And they referred to a case there from 1981, Conway versus Ulster Bank Limited. The bottom line is, if you bring a claim for constructive dismissal, you're going to have an incredibly difficult time winning your case unless you can show that you have availed of whatever procedures were available in the workplace. And quite frankly, it's not enough to say I wouldn't have got a fair hearing, or it was a futile exercise, or it was a small company and my complaint was against the owner of the company or director of the company or whatever, because that owner or that director will always be able to say, I never knew there was a problem, he never brought it to me, and had he done so and complained about the grievance procedure, then I could have got an external person in to investigate and deal with the grievance. That's what you're leaving open if you do not avail of the grievance procedure. Constructive dismissal is a very difficult case to win at the best of times, but definitely you're shooting yourself in the foot if you don't avail of the grievance procedure in the first instance before you resign. There's no point trying to invoke it afterwards. You must do it beforehand. Hope you find this video useful, and you may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. If you are, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button there. Thanks a lot.